Okay, guys, welcome to my Zoom session. So I'm going to be analyzing GU and EU and GPB USD. So top-down analysis. I'm just going to give you guys tips what you need to do in order to look for your setup. You don't just come on the chart to start looking for fantasy five because you know them or because you know a scenario you want. You just want to see them happening on 5 minutes time frame and then you go in. So there's what you need to do, which is top-down analysis, right? And when I also started trading this concept, I was trading in the normal way I was taught. But then in the process, because it is through my dedication that I really discover a lot of things on my own from the chart directly, not from anybody. So I then realized that having understanding of the trend direction is everything everyone needs to know. So then I came up with using top-down analysis, analyzing from the monthly to see where the market is going, drop down to weekly, drop down to daily, and then when I know where those time frames are going, then I can confidently go down to the lower time frame to now wait for setup to happen in line with the trend. And this has really changed a lot, to be honest, a lot. So now what are we looking for on GPB USD? So if we go to the higher time frame from the weekly time frame, you realize that from the weekly, market has been dropping, and then we get to this point here
Sir,
where we
I'm
see
here.
this market has
Hello?
been dropping. Please, you can mute
10?
yourself if your background is noisy.
10? Buen día. Oh, it's possible.
Some of you. I will remove you now.
No, por mí no.
Please, if you want to talk, you have to mute yourself, please. If you are doing family meeting on the background, don't do the family meeting in my Zoom session. So if you look at the weekly time frame, you see that the market has been dropping, giving us characteristics of a downtrend, something like this impulse. We have this correction, we have another impulse, we have correction, we have another impulse, right? And then remember, market structure wise, this is the obvious low here when the market break to show that, okay, we are in a deep downtrend. And remember, market does not always remain in a downtrend. Market will push in a particular direction, and then we have the breach of the Dow theory, where the market signifies, so I want to change from this particular or this specific direction to another direction. And then market get to this point here, we see a push. Before this time, we know, even from the monthly, when we go to the monthly, see that on monthly, this this whole higher low that is creating here on weekly time frame is just a normal push on monthly. So when I know monthly has been pushed for 3 months, they have to be a retracement because market does not move in a straight line. So when we started seeing this thing, we know that, okay, we want to enter into a deep retracement. This is the good thing about having understanding of top-down analysis and market structure in different time frames. When this is happening, you will not be even wondering because you know that for sure you're expecting a change to happen. And when you understand it, you start even looking for, if we go to the lower time frame at this particular page, you see fantastic five right there. So when you see that kind of fantastic five, you won't even be trading with emotion. You know what is going on the higher time frame, right? So, but now that push on monthly is what give birth to this structure. Now there's a retracement going on monthly time frame. If we go to the monthly time frame, let's even go to the monthly time frame to see now. You see? So we have this whole push. This whole push. We go to the weekly. On monthly is push. Weekly is giving you structure like this. Higher, high, high, lower, high, lower, low. Telling you that this lower high, lower, low that is happening on the weekly time frame, the person that is empowering that push is the senior brother, which is the monthly time frame. When you see weekly pushing like this, weekly making a push on daily, it will be forming like this. So when you know that weekly is making a push, are you not supposed to be looking for fantastic five? As market is creating higher, higher, low on the daily time frame, is moving in respect to fantastic five. When market is pushing in an uptrend with higher, low, it provides fantastic five. It's pushing in a downtrend, higher, low. It's providing fantastic five because you know that weekly or monthly is pushing. Then on weekly, on daily and H4 we are going to be seeing obvious characteristics of an uptrend. And this characteristic move in respect to Fantasy 5, other blind spot, other SNRC1, other SNRC2. It could be any of the setup MEF. You see the secret now. Please stop making noise. Mr. Ben, is it Ben? Please mute yourself before you talk. I'm giving you details of what I do and what can help you, right? So now, week and monthly, what I'm trying to say is that monthly is on a for the past 2 months. Last month, push. You see, if you look at the monthly, let's discuss details, right? If you look at the monthly, drop. Look at this candle. Look at all these full body candles selling back down bearish, and then we get to this point here, number 4 months, market close as an indecision. What does that mean? It signifies a reversal, telling you that buyers are now coming into the market to push this market back up bearish because market will not continue pushing like this. It move impulse correction. So now the following month, then buyers finally take over. For the past 2 months, last month, buyers in control. This month, buyers are in control. It means that we should what? We should be looking for buying opportunity. Now, when you come to weekly time frame, now that monthly is making that push, what happened? When monthly is making an impulsive move, that drop, it gives us characteristics of a downtrend on the weekly time frame. Now monthly has changed, provide a double top here. Double top also is a reversal setup, but we don't trade double top. In fact, if you go to, it's showing double top on weekly. If you go to the lower time frame, you will see what you are looking for. People that trade double top, they will be looking to buy. You that trade Bastra, you'll be waiting for your setup to happen. And if you go to the lower time frame, like I said, you will see them here, right? So now, if you, okay, I'm coming. Now, this was the last high here, obvious lower high before market started giving us a change, right? And then finally, market break this one here. Impulsively, look at this impulsive candle. This is what smart money, ICT call it imbalance, right? But in Bastra concept, we don't call it imbalance. We call it a full body candle or a full momentum candle, right? This is what we call a full momentum candle. So now market make a push and then market get to this point here. If you look at this point very well on the weekly time frame, you see that we call it lay retest because that is a Quasimodo reversal. If you look at this particular one here, from this level here, in fact, it's the strongest key level right there. When we have stronger key levels, when we have two setup at the same time, or yes, at the same point, is what we call the strongest key level. If you look at that point here, you see that we have, this was a high right here, it was a low, it was a higher high, and then here is the lower low, right? Market was supposed to come back here for a sell. That is why we now regard it as what? Market delay too much to come back to this point. That is now is we regard it as what? Lay retest. It is a lay retest. But however, when a lay retest is happening on the higher time frame, it's strong enough to make a deeper retracement in the lower time frame. So when you know that, okay, market is currently at this point here, at this lay retest, what are you supposed to do? Let me give you an example before I can tell you what we are looking for this week, right? If you know that we are in a lay retest, you know that price is supposed to look at even this price action here. Let me zoom. Let me find I'm using system mouse directly. So if you look at this particular point here, you see when market make this huge candle, right? And then market get to that lay retest. What happened? The following weekly candle did not even have that strength anymore. Look at how small it is. What does that mean? It's telling us that the retracement is going to happen from that lay retest. So you see, because when price make this huge candle, price is not going to continue going up. It's going to retrace back here to fill this candle before going up. And price does not just retrace like that. Price retraces from past. Let me give you an example. Price does not, the only reason why price make impulse correction, higher high, higher low, is this. It's only one reason. Now, when price is moving in an uptrend, in a downtrend, it's creating like this. Remember, all this one are supply zones, supply zones, supply zones, supply zones. But it's not every zone here is strong enough to hold price. When price is making an impulsive, when price change from this downtrend to an uptrend, price will now break this one, then come here, push again. If price experience a strong past supply zones, the supply zone will be able to cause a retracement back for price to get strength, enough momentum to push. This is the only reason why price make impulse correction, impulse correction. Each time price come in contact with the past supply, strong supply zones or past strong demand zones, it causes a retracement for price to give you that retracement is what is going to give you a discounted price as a buyer or a premium price as a seller for you to buy. Because price, when price encounter these strong supply zones, it retraces back here to have enough momentum here to create to also maybe people that use liquidity to also get one or two liquidity here to liquidate people and push. Price does not just retrace without any reason. This is what is causing impulse correction in the market, right? And that is why this one also, like I said, Fantastic Five, price respect Fantastic Five in all time frame. There's no way price will just get here to this pass, even though it's a Larry test, it respects it. And that is why it's causing a retracement right here. And I even expecting a deeper retracement. But then, if you observe this thing last week, you see that you would have gotten a beautiful trade. Oh my goodness, this system mouse, I'm not used to it. So now let me give, if you go to the daily time frame, you see daily is making a double top, right? Daily is making a double top. This is the first push down, the second push up. So when daily make a double top like this, I was expecting to see Fantastic Five. So I go to the lower time frame, which is the H4 time frame, to see what is going on H4. So the moment this happened, remember when the daily is making, this is the first leg. when daily is making a double top in that lay retest from the weekly time frame. This is the information you need before you put in your money. So now daily is going back again to form the second leg. As it's going back, as daily is making a push, is giving us a what? That push is giving birth to higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high on the H4 time frame. This is what I regard as market structure synchronization. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And then what happened? I saw this breach here. This previous lower, higher low, the market was struggling to rest, but it failed and the market breaks. These things is aligning to because I'm expecting a deeper retracement from there. Now go down to the H1 time frame. This is where you started expecting fantastic. If you go to H1, what do you see? You see a beautiful blind spot right there. And you see from the H1 as market structure synchronization from the second leg on daily, because daily was making a double top, it's also showing us a clear market uh, characteristics of a downtrend. And then what happened? Blind spot. Blind spot means reversal. It's telling us that market is going to reverse. So if you know what to do, you know that you take your trade from this level and you will not hold till the moon. No. For me, I've been able to, like I was so greedy. I will hold trade, hold trade, hold trade. No. I will just measure 5% max on this particular one. You are done. This is where you take the trade. Why? Because you understand what is going on from the higher time frame. This is how you synchronize the chart. And there's even more to this. So let's just keep moving. Maybe if we continue with the Zoom session, I will open you guys' eyes, to be honest, with this concept. So now, what are we expecting this week? We're expecting the market to continue with the retracement. Overall, definitely, market is going to retrace, adapt back to this point, and then drop. If you look at this weekly time frame, this weekly engulf here, this weekly it's an engulfing candle actually because it's not a full body candle anyway, because this is an opposing candle and this is an engulfing, but the engulfing was so huge, right? If you go down to the lower time frame, what do you see? Now I'm expecting the market to retrace from here. If the market is going to retrace, where is that point you feel like market is going to retrace to have a lot of momentum to continue pushing? Because this is, if you look at this, so even though it's a lay retest, this level also is a problematic level in the past. Look at it here. In synthetic indices, we call it line of sensitivity. It works magic there. When you see level like this, price always retraces from there, right? So if you look at this one, it's not going to be easy for price to just break, right? We want price to drop. In this sense, we may be looking for what? If price is going to drop from this point to this point, then we can look for more opportunity to sell. We want to wait on H4, H1 to see Fantasy 5 in line with the drop to sell. But however, on daily time frame, if price closes above like this, let's say price closes with a big full body candle above with a lot of momentum. When price closes with momentum, look at momentum. See how all this, look at the strength. This is momentum. When the market closes with a lot of momentum, you know that, okay, it's now time to go up. But for now, it's not time to buy, because if you buy here without knowing that you are buying in a supply zone, you see Fantastic 5 here. If you go to the lower time frame, you'll see Fantastic 5 here, but it did not hold. Why? Like this one, this one, and this particular movement here on daily, if you go to H1, you will see Fantastic 5. Maybe you will see a scenario 1, a scenario 2, and it will fade. You begin to question, why did this setup fade? Because you don't do market structure synchronization. If you know market structure synchronization, you wouldn't have been looking for, why do you want to sell in a supply zones? We call it the selling neighborhood. Why do you want to buy? Why do you want to buy in a selling neighborhood? Why do you want to sell in a buying neighborhood? You need to understand this. So someone will see clear fantastic 5 year on H1 time frame, and you put in your money. Somebody is asking me on one of my YouTube video if fantastic 5 is still working in 2024 or 2020. Yes, it's 2024. Because maybe the person have tried one or two and they failed. There must be reason why this thing is failing. You need a deeper information from the higher time frame. And that is why Adullam is top notch when it comes to this Bastra concept, because I have seen it all. Is it depression? Is it failure? What I have not seen. No pain, no gain. Right? So now, if the market close, then we continue to look for buys, right? But if the market continue to push down, from this movement to this movement here, it's going to give us fantastic 5 to sell. So you will not bother yourself. This is when patience comes in. This is when I don't want to be jumping. I have a lot of other pairs to have analyzed, other pairs waiting for something to happen. So I will not keep myself on in Euro USD because nothing has shown up. I will just know. I will wait for price to give me what I want. Today is Monday. Before the end of this week, if you have been in the forex space for long, you know that it's not about taking 5 trades. Yeah, my student in Adullam Grow Trader Grow, I have one of them. She traded more than even 4 times, 5 times last week. So for me, that is just too much. If I have two successful trade for the week, safe, okay, it's enough. Doing video, please. It's enough. So if we don't see setup here, you'll see setup in another pair. Because this method I'm trading. Like when I used to trade before, based on the way I was taught, look for setup in the lower time frame or direction. You go to the higher time frame, you see direction. So when you are looking for setup in 15 minutes time frame, 5 minutes time frame, then you don't need many pairs on your watch list because you will see a lot of opportunities. But the truth is, it's not reliable. If someone who have traded Fantastic 5, you agree with me that it is not reliable trusting those small setup on the lower time frame. So that is why the from H4, H1, M30, this is where I want to see Fantastic 7. I call it Fantastic 7 because manipulation entry formula and blind spot, they work magic, and the market like to provide them more than QMC, more than SNRC1, more than SNRC2. So we cannot be praising Fantastic 5 without praising but blind spot is one of the baddest setup. Blind spot and this guy Quasimodo reversal. They are magic. You see manipulation entry formula. These are the most powerful setup that price like to use every single week. You see QMC, sometimes it comes like that once in a week. You see QMM can come once in a month. SNRC1, SNRC2 also comes from time to time, but you see Quasimodo reversal, blind spot manipulation entry formula. These are the most happening setup when it comes to Bastra, in my experience, though. So now means our buyer this week is when price break above, fine, we'll be looking to buy. But when price, this one could be a retracement. So we want to know on the lower time frame, we'll know. We'll see how setup is going to happen in line with the direction, with the bearish direction. Then we take the trade. So when you take the trade, I'm expecting price to come to this level. Let me explain. If price is going to give us a retracement back to this level, where I'm expecting a retracement here, and then from the weekly time frame, let's see something from the weekly time frame. Yeah, if price is going to retrace here from that late retest, if price is going to come back to this point before we buy, where is the possible point that price can retrace before it will start buying? right? So we go down to the lower time frame. Let me show you something. On H4, looking at market structure in respect to Fantasy 5 on H4, I saw this manipulation entry formula. This is a rally-based rally. So I'm expecting price, if price is to drop like this, right? If price is to continue coming down bearish, we are going to see, this is just the beginning of the week. This is, look for, if I see any setup that shows in line with the bearish movement, I'm going to be looking to take a short, right? So if price is to come down for a retracement, this is the possible point where I'm expecting to see confirmation here for a buy. Why is this one manipulation entry formula? That is a manipulation entry formula in the sense that manipulation entry formula is a situation where we have a bullish engulfing on the higher time frame, and in the lower time frame or two time frame down, we'll have a rally-based rally or a drop-based drop, right? So in this case, we have a bullish engulfing on the weekly, and then we have rally-based rally on the H4 time, manipulation entry formula on the H4 time frame. If you switch back, you see that this manipulation entry formula happened inside this bullish engulf on the weekly time frame, right? And also it's aligned to the fact that price may also come to the 50%. Half of this one can be 50%, right? If price can come here, and then we start seeing that push back or bullish, confirmation in to continue, because this has become what? Impulse. There have to be a correction, then another impulsive move. All of this, you have to synchronize Fantasy 7, Fantasy 5 in respect to market structure. Market structure helps you to understand the trend of the market, while Fantasy 5 tells you the time to get into the trade, right? So this is how, there's a lot to this, guys. This is very, very interesting. It's very, very interesting. So when you are learning from this Zoom session, you don't just learn, go back to your chart. I trust me, God is going to reveal more things to you from what I'm even telling you. And one thing I will keep saying is that even people guys that are coming into my mentorship, you can't come and be lazy. What do you want to pay for mentorship if you're a lazy type? Because my mentorship, you own yourself. I put you in a situation, you own yourself to work on yourself. I'm only going to give you knowledge. My strategy is just a knowledge. You need, like my mentor, your mentor will give you knowledge. Only God gives understanding. When you look at the chart and begin to see the chart in different way, you think it's your own doing. It's beyond our reasoning, right? It's the supreme behind that understanding. So it is that understanding that I'm having right now, that when you start pay attention to the chart, how does the market move in respect to Fantasy 5? Why is this setup failed? When setup failed, you don't get angry. The only reason why when a setup failed, you get angry, because you are not a trader. You are just a human being with a skill set, without the mindset. You need the mindset of a trader. So many of us, we paid for mentorship. We understand the strategy very well. We can explain to people, but you are not yet a trader, because a trader is not angry when he take a loss. That's why a stop loss is not is not a loss trade. It's a stop trade. That is the meaning of a stop loss. And before you even put a stop loss, you have already agreed that, oh, this is the amount I'm willing to lose. Then why are you angry when you lose the amount you accepted initially before getting into a trade? It is because you don't have a mindset of a trader. You are just a human being with a trading strategy, but without the mindset. So you have a skill set without a mindset. So you need a mindset of a trader to be able, for your strategy to be able to work for you. There are times when I do analysis. I say, okay, when market comes to this manipulation entry formula on H4, I'm going to buy. Market get there. Then I'll start asking myself, are you sure it's going to play out? This is the mindset of a human being. This is not the mindset of a trader, because a trader is not like a soldier. He's not afraid to shoot. So as a trader, when market comes to where you want to buy and give you the entry you want to see, you're already in with a proper goal risk management without thinking whether is it going to play out or not. The outcome is none of your problem. You want to see market to tell you, to give you order, shoot, you shoot. So this is the area that everybody struggles. I also struggle. You do analysis market, sometimes you'll be afraid to enter. And when the market started playing the way you predicted, say, yes, I know it's going to buy. Now that you know it's going to, how much did you make? Some of you spend too much time on TikTok, spend too much time on watching people lifestyle, spend too much time on see this one buy a new car. Most of those guys, they have paid their price, they have paid their dues on the chart. You pay your dues on the chart. You spend too much time watching, you spend too much time comparing, especially in Africa, in Nigeria, comparing Dapo Williams and this guy, Happy ForeX, which is more rich, which person is more richer? Is that your problem as a trader? Is that the trader that want to get better? You can only get better on the Forex chart. They say a trend is your friend. I say the chart is your friend. Pay attention to the chart. Go to the on social media, spend a little time to join other trader to talk one or two things, but give 80% of attention on the chart. Like I'm speaking to you, some beginner traders, they're on TikTok live, joining some forex traders, making noise up and down. Some people, they are using forex as cruise. Forex is not cruise. It's one of the most difficult skill in the world. It is not cruise. Forex is not for content. You don't use forex to do comedy. Forex is a skill, and it's not for everybody. It's for people who know what they want, which is what I say, whether it is your work, your love, or your life, unless you throw your entire self into it, you will never really know it. Even some people right now, they don't even know who they are because they have never paid attention to know who they are. They are still somebody want to live in the image of somebody. I've seen a lot of people on TikTok, they want to live like this person. Oh, this person is behaving like Davido. This person, it means you have not, at your age, you have not realized your identity as a person, because God does not create the young. Everybody have a unique potential and you discover yourself. So if someone that have not even discovered who he is, then not to talk of to come and learn forex trading, it's not for everybody. It's for people who understand who they are, who understand what they want. Right? So guys, enough of that. So this is where we'll be expecting to see market to retrace back to this manipulation entry formula with the confirmation we are going in, right? So I think we have 4 minutes remaining, so we can come back for the second session before we end the Zoom session today. So, but this is my analysis. This is based on the way I trade, based on the way I analyze, based on my own concept. And I believe in it. This is what I'm seeing with Euro USD. So there's a day I'll just do session on back test. I say, guys, let back test based on this. Then you will see wonders. You will see wonders. You will see wonders in what I'm trying to tell you, right? You will see wonders. So this is my analysis. I'll be expecting to see if this guy give me reasons to sell. For now, there's no yet reasons to sell, right? If the market gives us reasons to sell, then we'll look forward to sell. If you look at the H4 time frame, you'll be able to see, even to H4, you'll be able to see that things are actually going to happen the way we are expecting. So let's see how it goes, guys. So I will be ending this Zoom session for now. This is 3 minutes to go. Then we'll come back in the next session. I don't have to say much on USD and GPB USD, but we'll analyze GPB USD and then we'll pick one other pair to analyze and then we'll call it a day. So this is how,
Can I ask
forget
you a
about,
question?
I think I talk a lot. Sometimes I talk a lot, but also my talking makes sense. As a trader, you really need to be serious with your life. And that seriousness can only happen on the chart when you know the mentor you want to follow. This is the strategy you want. This is the kind of mentor you want to trade like him. Then skill yourself on the chart. Pay more attention on the chart. Spend time on the chart to ask yourself, how does market move in respect to this concept I want to learn? This is what is going to change the game for you. Not jumping from one Telegram group to another.